159 minutes to, I believe, the Nuggets 58. They had double-digit leads in 4 of the 5 games. I think they led at halftime in maybe all 5 games. But in the end, the finishers of Jokic and Murray, Porter Jr. coming up big, Aaron Gordon, the way they executed at the end, the mistakes made in the end, it's a 4-1 series in favor of the Nuggets. I felt watching this series the Spurs looked to be in control a lot of this series. Double-digit leads in all 5 games.
Didn't feel like that, though, did it?
It never felt like that to me. Even when the Spurs were up 14 in Game 5, Knicks fans were like, we got them right where we want them. But that was by Game 5, Mike, because you and I watched Game 3 together. And I felt Game 3, the Spurs found a way to get it done. I thought a little luck went their way. Remember, they were having some terrible possessions, up 108 to 100. Castle saved them with that deep 3 with the shot clock winding down. And when they won that game and went up 29 in the next game, I thought I would be coming to work here and talking about how the Spurs have flipped the series. But instead, you have that unreal comeback in Game 4 by the Knicks. And it really just set the series for me. The Knicks were that team. They were the better all-around team. They were the better offensive team. They were better defensively. They were more in the moment. They were never feeling like they were out of it. They were never nonchalant. Even when they were down big, they stuck together. That win for me was about the culture of the Knicks, right? I think that's what was so easy for everyone to root for, Mike, was because this team, these guys that have been counted out by me, by the way, throughout their history as players, kind of came together in that right moment and caught a magical ride and did whatever it took to win. And they were just better. And they were better at execution down the stretch. They were better in the fourth quarter. They were way more organized at the end of games. They had an A, and it was Jalen Brunson. And the other guys filled in, even though OG to me is an A. We'll talk about him later in the show. But you know what I'm saying? The youth of the Spurs to me was on display. They were unorganized, whether it was coach and player, and they were just never ready to win.
I love the take, and I want to go back to what you said about that Lakers team that lost the Nuggets. And even pulling in another team that you mentioned last week on Lakers Talk, where you mentioned the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. I would also give you the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, the team that ultimately came back and beat Miami the next year. And what all of those teams that won had in common was just some level of confidence, IQ, this veteran connectivity, a little bit of the spirit of not having won, at least in the recent years before. And all of the teams that lost those respective series had something else in common, and it was either youth or it was a collective wearing down based on what it took to get to that point. And in the case of the Lakers, to go back to that series against Denver, the Lakers had Memphis in round 1, and they were the 7th seed against the 2 seed. And that took 6 games, even though the last one was a blowout, right?
2023, right?
2023.
Yeah.
So the last one, they won 125-85. That was when LeBron destroyed Dylan Brooks and so on and so forth. But still, that was a Memphis team who was at their peak in terms of energy and confidence. And the Lakers were always going to win that series, but they really had to work for it. And that was peak healthy Ja. Jaren Jackson was flying around. Dylan Brooks had just mentioned it. That team, you had to actually beat them. Then Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors with Draymond Green. Now, again, the Lakers, they held court pretty well in that series, but they win game 1 on the road by 5, and then Golden State comes back with a big 127-100 game 2. The Lakers control game 3 easily, 127-97. They eke out game 4, which was the pivotal one there, to go up 3-1. Then they go up to Golden State, lose game 5, and they have to win game 6, and LeBron has to empty the tank, right? He has 30 points. AD has 20 rebounds. LeBron has 9 assists, but it took all of what they had to bury Steph Curry and the Warriors. And then Denver comes around. And Denver, up to that point, had not been as difficult for them, and this was peak Jokic. This was mad Jokic. This was the Jokic that AD and Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee plus LeBron and Caruso and Kuzma had smacked in 2019.
They were just the better team in 2023.
They were the better team, but part of that, I think, was because of what the Lakers had to do just to get to that point. And remember, LeBron was hurt for half the year. AD was hurt for part of the year. They hadn't had a ton of reps. They didn't have as much size around them as they probably needed to make a long run. And then this fast forward to why I thought San Antonio was going to lose this series going in. They had not only a tough road, but a road that had emotional peaks and highs, and they just didn't know exactly what it was going to take to get to that next spot. The Knicks did. The Knicks were waiting for them, and all of that tied together. And that we didn't talk a single thing about X's and O's right there, did we? That's just sports. That's kind of experience and knowing what happens in these games.
And that's the thing, like San Antonio, and this is, LeBron was talking about this recently. Human nature in sports. San Antonio gets by Minnesota. And make no mistake about it, that was an emotional win. That was a physical series. Even though Minnesota was banged up, they were knocking on the door. And there was a lot of pressure on San Antonio. They win in 6. Then you go play OKC, and you're down 3-2. And you come back and you win Game 7 on the road. And I think everyone is basically anointing them. Not you, but just in terms of the basketball world. They're favored. They're the young Spurs. Man, maybe they don't have to. Yeah. They don't have to take the right steps like everyone has had to do.
Vegas
I
had
thought
them
it too. But the Knicks were just waiting.
Yeah.
The Knicks were just waiting. Sometimes these veteran teams that get their one title, whether it was Ray Allen and the Celtics and KG, whether it's Dirk and the Mavs, they've gone through so many battles that when they get to that moment, they're going to find a way to win.
Well said, Geeter. I like hearing you talk basketball, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
All right. So I mentioned earlier, we have 8 consecutive NBA champions, all different squads. We have ranked them coming up next on Lakers Talk. He's Geeter. I'm Trudell. Hang in there.
DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, California. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in California. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every single minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in California, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code LA710, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code LA710 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms, dkng.co/predictions promo.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. If you're ready to upgrade your driving experience, you gotta go and check out what's happening at Cadillac and their incredible new lineup of state-of-the-art EVs, sedans, and SUVs. And hey, look, there's no better place to experience the luxury of Cadillac than at Cadillac of Beverly Hills. Check out Cadillac of Beverly Hills and their beautiful showroom at 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And check them out on the web at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
The radio home of Mike Trudell is the radio home of Lakers basketball.
Welcome to a new chapter of Lakers Talk on ESPN LA, your home of Lakers basketball. Lakers Talk now weekly with the one and only Mike Trudell.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Once again, back to Lakers Talk and back to Mike Trudell.
Welcome back to Lakers Talk. Thank you, Chris Morales. By the way, hello to Wilbur Flores.
How you doing, Mike?
Wilbur hanging out with us today, running the board and producing, doing double duty. Often we have Funch and DeAndre in here. Not tonight, though. Wilbur holding it down. Wilbur, I need just one thing about you right now that the audience doesn't know, but they need to know. Just give me something, buddy.
I'm a huge Lakers fan.
Got it. Boom.
Grew up playing video games all my life.
Ooh, okay. Give me your top 5.
Top 5.
Yep.
Ooh, that's hard. Super Mario World.
Yep, great one.
Probably anything in that series.
With Yoshi?
Oh, Yoshi. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
That's my jam right there. Street Fighter.
Okay, Street Fighter 2, obviously.
Of course, Turbo.
Who do you go to? Who's your go-to Street Fighter?
Ryu or a Blanca.
All right. See, I'm Ryu, and obviously Ken's the same as Ryu. Do you ever play Street Fighter, Gator?
A little bit.
Okay.
I was never a video game. I mean, my video games, Mike, remember, I'm a little younger than you.
Atari?
They were tough, buddy.
Okay.
Tough compared to what your kids grew up with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind beating you with Chun-Li if I have to.
Okay, that's a good one right there.
And Bison, I feel like, is a little bit unfair.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I like the Ryu or Ken. Okay. And
by
then
the way, your boys into games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been into video games then forever.
I've trained them up now so that I can play FIFA with them and against them, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed and the 2 Star Wars games with Riggs, even though he's 5. I feel like I had to kind of talk Andy into it because there's a little bit of violence in there.
Sure. Girl Dad, I just didn't have this luxury.
Yeah.
We weren't playing Madden.
All right. Well,
like that, but
I'm looking forward to hearing more from Wilbur as the show goes on.
Good job
Thank you for that, buddy. All right. Geeter, I gave you this homework assignment.
Okay.
There have been 8 consecutive different champions, okay, in the NBA since the last repeat, which was the Warriors. And I don't want to get into the whole reasons why and the parity and Adam Silver and the cap and everything like that. By the way, all of that, like, I don't want to get into all that, but let me just do this. Can we go from 8 down to 1 on your list?
Yeah.
All right. And what I'm going to do, if there's something that I just passionately disagree with, I'm going to call it on the spot.
Do it.
If I think that you're grooving and the serves are going in the court, I'm just going to kind of lay out for you. Okay. So let's go number 8, Chris McGee's list of the consecutive the lack of a consecutive back-to-back champion. Who's number 8?
So the teams, do we know all the teams? Do you want me to give the teams real quick? Warriors, Knicks, Denver, Bucks, Boston, Raptors, Lakers. Okay, It's 8 teams right there. Basically the 8 in a row. No repeat champion. Mike, the little kid came out in me today when I was making this list, and I really don't care what the listeners think. I'm putting Boston 8th. And I don't care. Like, it's my list. And you know what? They were young, and they were good, and Drew Holiday and Porzingis and, Derek White, like, those veteran guys were great with those young guys, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. It was their time, and they were a great basketball team. They deserved to win an NBA championship. But I slotted them 8 at 8 because I originally had them 7 because I hate them. But I just said, you know what? If you're going to put them in 7, just put them at 8.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you because I did not do the homework that I might typically on this because I wanted to come in and I wanted you to lead this and I wanted to just see if anything stood out. But I did do a preliminary list.
Okay.
And number 8 on my list, Boston Celtics.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm with you. Now, they weren't a great team. Okay, they were good.
Yeah, for that year, they were the champs.
Well, I shouldn't say they weren't great. I mean, they did win 64 games. They did go 4-1 against Miami, 4-1 against Cleveland, 4-0 against Indiana. None of those teams were very good, though.
Not at that point.
And then they got a young Dallas team that was obviously Luka in the finals, and they had been really pushed in the Western Conference. A lot like this year. A lot like the Knicks got to skate a little bit. And then they had all the juice left for the finals. But nonetheless, I can acknowledge also a little bit of Boston bias, but I don't think anybody in LA is going to be too mad about it.
A little bit of Boston bias.
They're
number 8. Sorry about that. It's just the way we're rolling here today.
Okay.
And by the way, when you come out of the East and you can go through it like they did, you are more prepared, less injured. The Knicks had no injuries, Mike. I mean, the health was on their side, and that's a big part of winning a championship. All right.
And the fact that they lost the next year, by the way. They lost the Knicks, obviously, in the conference semis the next year, and I feel like that weighs in a little bit.
I'm going
number 7.
I'm going number 7, Bucks. And I remember that championship. It was a different kind of season. It started in Christmas, I believe, Mike, because of COVID and the Lakers and the bubble going all the way into October?
So season started, so the Lakers won the title in October,
and
the next season started in December, like on Christmas Day, I believe. So, yes, they had they finished 46 and 26 that year, third in the East.
A lot of times the stars have to align for you to win a championship. Sometimes you're just the best team. But for the Bucks, like Kevin Durant's toe being on the line kept Brooklyn out of the NBA Finals. AD and Braun getting hurt, I think, and then AD getting hurt in the series against Phoenix, to me, kept them from repeating as champions. I truly believe they would have been in the finals and favorites to win had AD not gotten hurt. And even if those guys had stayed healthy during the season, first of all, they would have been the 1 seed. So that would have been a lot different. Okay? But the Bucks took care of business, and it's not their fault that it was that kind of a season. They happened to be at the right place at the right time. Giannis was that dude. He's the MVP, deservedly. Middleton, Holiday, solid team, good role players. Bud coaching. They got it done, but they're the 7th on this list. They're 7th on this list.
I, too, had them 7th.
Okay.
So we are on the same page so far.
Okay.
Again, good team, not great, easy path in the East. This is kind of a familiar topic, and I do think that the Lakers would have beaten that team handily had they not had the bubble tax injure their whole team the previous season. So I'm with you so far, Geeter, on your 8 and your 7.
This is where things are going to get weird because I respect this team, and I think we all thought that they might be on top longer than they were, and they were the nemesis for us for a couple of seasons, and it drove me absolutely crazy. But the Denver Nuggets team that won slides into the 5th spot for me. Or is that 6? Sorry.
That is 6 for you. Yeah.
All right. Mike, I think I'm missing a team. I apologize. Hold on one.
Well, all right, so we got Celtics, Bucks, Raptors, Knicks, Warriors, Nuggets, Thunder, Lakers.
Thunder.
You're missing the Thunder in there?
You know I am.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to put I know where I'm putting them. That's fine. I'm still going to put I'm going to put the Nuggets in there.
Okay.
I feel like Jokic, Murray, that group, MPJ, KCP, Malone is their coach. Like, they were knocking on the door, and they were right there. And when they were young, the Lakers took care of them in the bubble. But they were primed to win, and they caught that perfect season as well where, you know, the East wasn't yet ready to – the Heat were good. Boston's good, but it wasn't their time. So I feel like that Denver team they're great. And the complementary pieces around Murray and Jokic are what helped them win that title. And deservedly, they got it. But I just have them in that 6th spot. And that leads me to the Thunder in 5th.
All right. I had that Thunder team, or excuse me, that Nuggets team higher than you did. But I'm not going to say where yet until we get a little bit closer. So go ahead and give me your...
I might have, if I was doing this, by the way, now with the Thunder on this list, I might have slid them up to 5th, but I'm going to put the Thunder at 5.
Okay.
I'm going to put the young Thunder at 5. Shea, Chet, Caruso, kind of the dominance that they've showed over the last couple seasons. They were the favorites to repeat this year. I think the Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell injuries absolutely cost them in that series. It would have been really interesting to see them play the New York Knicks and how that would have come out, Mike. But I got the Thunder at 5. Are you okay with that?
I had them slightly higher as well.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. I don't want to protest until I hear your arguments. Okay, about what you have ahead of them. So
I got the Knicks next.
Okay, so the Knicks are your number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the team, and I know we're wrapped up in the moment and the emotions behind it. And there's 16-3 record, and the way that they took care of business, the way that they showed the resilience and the heart, and just the way I think, you know, the entire fan base and then everyone else's fan base is jumping on and supporting them. It's kind of an in-the-moment pick, but they, for me, being a team guy my whole life, playing sports my whole life, being a role player in college, having to kind of be a backup setter for a lot of my career and then not start until later, like I had to be about the team. Coaching, I kind of took on that same philosophy, right? Like 15 was just as important to 1, and that's how I've always lived my life. That's how I've kind of coached my daughters when they were younger, and that's just what I believe. And I feel like the Knicks, if that was my team, and we'll ask Ben Lyons about this, how proud would you be? Like the way they competed together, the way they didn't fracture, and the way they battled. I'm putting them at 4, and I'm okay with it.
Who's your number 3, Geet?
Warriors. I got Steph. I got Clay. I got Draymond. I got our boy Stevie Kerr. I think they deserve to be there because out of respect for them, it wasn't their best team. There was no KD. It wasn't the 73-9 team that had a 3-1 lead and blew it to Cleveland. But that magic that they showed and Steph having that series and Steph hitting those shots against Boston and the fact that they beat Boston and did it on their court, to me, I'll always be appreciative of that. I was not ready for the Celtics team that young to win. So I put Steph, Clay, and Dre and Steve Kerr at 3.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah, jump in.
I'm going to save my list until later in the show. Okay? Because what I want to do, I want to get to your top 2.
Okay.
I want you to justify them briefly, but just kind of tease the longer justification because then we're going to call Ben Lyons and let him talk his Knicks trash.
Okay, Raptors are my number 2, and I know people are going to freak out, but Mike, I looked at their roster, and I looked at it and what it would be today. Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi, Siakam, Gasol. How about OG?
Anunoby.
Didn't even play in the series because he was hurt. You saw what OG was like in this series, right? To me, he was the MVP. Obviously, Brunson got it, and deservedly so. But the glue of that team in that series and what he did is OG. Ibaka, Powell, Freddie, Van Fleet. I mean, that is a loaded roster. And I know people are not going to like that pick, but I'm putting them at 2. And you know who I'm putting at 1. There is absolutely no chance. Not one of these teams is touching my 2019-2020 Lakers. The way that they played and how deep they were OKC before OKC. They could run 11-12 at you, and
but
Frank
bigger.
Vogel did it. Bigger, longer, and could beat you so many different ways.
Nasty.
They could scheme against you and run different. They could trap you. They could blitz you.
Crazy
they
IQ
could
power.
One-on-one you.
LeBron, Rondo, AD.
KCP, Caruso, Danny Green, Rondo, are your perimeter defenders. Even a guy like Kuz being your 10th, 11th man. JaVale, Dwight Howard, AD, and Braun at the top of their game. MVP AD. Dude, that team was a joke.
All right.
Okay, Morris coming off the bench as a vet.
Shout out to Keith.
Come on, man.
All right. Part of the reason I wanted to do this exercise is because I knew that you would come through with what part of the point that I wanted is that team is better than people think. And it's going to get lost a little bit in history, but not on this show.
Danny
buddy.
Green said the best championship team he's ever been on. He was on a great Spurs team, and he was on that 2019 team.
I heard him say that to you last week
he
on
said
Laker
it was
Talk.
the Lakers 2020 team because they just could have beaten anybody.
And part of what he mentioned was that if everybody was in their prime also, obviously he had a couple guys that were older in terms of Rondo and Dwight. But all right, great list. I'm going to comment more as to I have a couple of swaps, one big one that we're going to get to coming up in the show. But next, somebody who was there. All right, for everything that we felt and we saw and that we watched from afar, somebody that's been living and dying with the Knicks for his whole entire life, our old buddy Ben Lyons coming up next.
I can't wait to talk to him.
On Lakers Talk. He's Geeter. I'm Trudell. Hang with us at ESPN LA.
Hey, guys, if you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that could last for weeks. Getting sick right before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy can be really stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Packs to treat wide ranges of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. You just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook, or you call the telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes, and it's shipped to your door. Save $45 with our promo code 710 at urgentcarekit.com/710. Promo code is 710 at urgentcarekit.com/710.
Looking for paint that actually lasts? Vista Paint delivers expert quality, rich color, and pro-trusted durability, backed by over 60 years of experience. From your home to your next big project, we've got you covered. Vista Paint, since 1956.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
Thanks again for taking me to the game, man. I can't wait to get in there. By the way, what's in the bag?
Oh, I bring my own hot dog and peanuts. Saves a ton.
Savvy. And what about the beach chairs?
Why buy seats when you can save big and bring your own?
We can't get in without tickets.
Tickets? What do you think the portable TV is for?
Don't save money pretending to go to the game. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Lakers Talk with Mike Trudell on your home of Lakers basketball. ESPN LA, 710 AM. On the all-new ESPN LA app. And on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
Welcome back to Lakers Talk. I'm Mike Trudell. He's Chris McGee. So, Geeter, in 2014, all right, you were still doing the same job that you were doing right now.
Yeah, we were about 2 years in.
Yeah,
Yep.
You were the host, as you remain, the primary and premium host of Spectrum Sports Net and the Lakers broadcasts. I was doing my same job, and I was also hosting Thompson and Trudell. And one of my favorite partners in crime at the time, a man who often filled in with me. We called it Class of 2000 Radio. His name is Ben Lyons. Okay, and I know you know Ben.
I know
a little
Ben
bit,
and love Ben, and got to work a little bit with Ben. One of the funniest guys, and I love following Ben, and I've been listening to him recently. And man, is it his time.
Well, before I bring him in, I just want to read you because I mentioned that year for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Okay, the 2014-15. So the 2014-15 New York Knicks. They finished 17-65.
Great team.
Their coach was our boy, Derek Fisher.
D-Fish.
D-Fish, who now coaches your alma mater.
Crespi High School.
Crespi High School. The executive in charge was Phil Jackson. Here are the 5 leading scorers on that team. Carmelo Anthony, Andrea Bargnani, Alexei Shved. Yes, Shved was third in scoring on that team. Old Amari, Langston Galloway, Tim Hardaway Jr., J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert. Ben Lyons, you made it, buddy. You went from there to this. Come on and talk your S, buddy. Come on.
He is.
Talk to us.
Oh, guys, I appreciate the shout. It's great to go down memory lane. Trudell, I hold a special place in my heart as well for Class of 2000 Radio. What up, Geeter?
Yes.
On Lakers Talk, talking about the Knicks winning a title. I wish you guys could see the smile that's going from ear to ear. It's just surreal. I'm on one, and it's great to talk to you both.
Well, just tell us, please, take us through. You start wherever you want. This is your time.
I know. It's so funny. You don't know what to do with me on the show. I don't know what to do. I don't know this life. You guys have had this in every formative stage of your Laker existence. When you're just falling in love with the game, there's the Lakers winning. When you're just, spending your own money on tickets, there's the game. Lakers. We don't know what to do with this. You mentioned those lineups. Guys, I was live in that studio with, I think it was one of the Cambros when the Knicks made the trade for Shved. And I ran out of the studio screaming. You remember back then, I was holding on to anything. I mean, that trip to London, that 2014-15 team there's a photo in front of them, in front of Big Ben, and they're 5-35. It's just we've seen a lot. And it goes back to Rory Sparrow and Darrell Walker and, Ernie Grunfeld, and to even the 80s and all of it. It's crossed, guys, into that Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox kind of. It's been 50-plus years, so it's just taken on something even bigger than this team and this group. So I'm really happy to be here and be a part of it.
Ben, I kind of want to have our Roy Firestone moment in Jerry Maguire, where he gets Cuba Gooding Jr. to cry. But I just want to say, you've waited. I thought about this today, and I wrote it down. I got Ben written down and some questions, and I'm like, wait, Ben literally waited a lifetime for this to happen. So in those final moments,
he was born in 81, I bet, right?
This is a lifetime. When those final moments, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Where were you?
It's really amazing. A lot of us who are real fans like this, we've been having fun, reliving nostalgia, going to the bars, watching the games, being outside, as the kids like to say, in the city. But as the games start to get more serious, you got to lock in and watch at home, right? So I'm watching with my lady, and Mike, I don't know if you know this, but Lions fam expecting in the fall.
Hey! Oh, that's what I want to hear.
Oh, my.
There's three of us sitting there watching the Knicks win an NBA championship.
Your child's going to know nothing other than Knicks championship glory.
So we celebrated and we walked. We live in Brooklyn near Spike Lee's office, so that's kind of the unofficial gathering place for all Knicks fans out here.
That's so great.
And so everybody just sort of migrated to Spike's, and hearing people roll their car windows down and be like, "Hey, yo, you gonna name your baby Carla? Let's go!" You know, like it was the best. It was the best. So,
Oh yeah, I bet I saw the. Oh, just
in.
to interject real quick, because I saw people were going to name their babies like what was it?
Jordan
like,
Clarkson talked about it. Like, what borough should I name my kid?
Or what was the Anna Nobi? Oh yeah, like so if it's a girl, Anna, and then Nobi middle name, right? So Anna Nobi Lyons.
I will tell you that we have not shared her name. We're very excited, and the outcome definitely cemented it. So we're excited. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Ben, when did you start to believe during the playoffs, you know, over the whole 2-month kind of journey, that this might happen?
I mean, when I got a text from Mike Trudell says, "You want to be on Lakers Talk and talk about the Knicks?" Like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, they unlocked something in the Philadelphia series when they had a comeback. I believe it was in game 1 of the Philadelphia series. And they turned Karl Anthony Towns into this point forward. They just started putting up video game numbers, and you guys love doing deep dives and X's and O's, and you start throwing around stats, comparing them to the Nirvana Warriors of 27-18 and these offensive margins. It's just like kind of mental. And I wasn't worried about Cleveland at all. And obviously with the French guy, he's a really special player and just a unique player, and played his heart out and was tough, and showed a side of himself that I don't think any of us saw in him before this series, you know? So I mean, Geeter, no, like, I don't know. When did I believe? I'm really still sitting in it and processing in it. You know, a buddy of mine works with the Knicks and from high school, and we went to Spike had a block party yesterday, and we just like wept on the street. We were just like, I've like hugged so many men that I don't know. It's like insane. It's insane.
Best feeling.
Still coming to terms with all of it, to be honest.
Well, so earlier, I guess I'm trying to think of the first time that when Geeter and I were talking about this, and if you just watched like what you had mentioned about Towns and the offense, I think was the thing that made it a possibility for the first time, at least in my eyes, because up to that point, when things got down and dirty, it still was just far too Jalen Brunson centric. And we saw that can still work, which it did, by the way, in Game 5. Sometimes you do need to grind a game out like that, and Geeter grew up watching various different Lakers be able to take a game over like that. Certainly Kobe Bryant, when you were kind of just about the time you were winning a car and The Price is Right, right, was when Kobe was really getting into that. And so at some point, Ben, you do need that in the playoffs, but they found kind of like the secret to basketball in a way. And I know you're somebody that also played a lot of basketball. I don't know if you've retired yet. I have retired because last time I played, I got 8 stitches playing with McMenamin. But when you get a certain 5 at the gym, right? And there's just like you look up and you kind of just do a head nod, and your buddy cuts back door. Like there was some of that flow in the way that the Knicks were playing, don't you think?
1,000%, man, and eerily similar to those 69-70 teams where, you know, all 5 guys got involved, and you know, everybody's playing at the peak of their abilities in the video game. If you even Alvarado, even your old buddy Jordan Clarkson in stretches, you know, and it's just a team that the Tetris puzzles, like, it fit really nicely, and they went on a run, came together, and nobody, the egos, like when you have a humble leader. Here's something too, and you guys know this as real basketball fans. When your best player leads the NBA in taking charges, it just kind of like sets the tone for everybody else. I think that's a really cool thing about his leadership. So, yeah, special group, everybody just peaking at the right time. You know, kind of like Coachella back in the day, you know, and here they are.
You know, Ben, I was saying earlier to Mike, like this win, you know, to see other fan bases rooting for the Knicks was something that you're just probably
America's
not used
team,
to. Yeah,
Peter.
I mean,
How
it was,
did they become America's
dude,
team? What is happening?
It was a win about culture. It was incredible. And I was thinking about this today because I'm like, man, Ben and all those other Knick fans that I know, like, they had their Game 4 moment. Like, I remember every second of Robert Horry's shot that led to a title, Magic's baby hook, the lob to Shaq from Kobe. Like, I remember where I was, Ben. I remember the moment. I could break it down in detail for you. When OG tips that in and you complete the greatest comeback in the history of the NBA Finals, that was the Knicks moment. But, Ben, what struck me was, like, watching that postgame show. We're 40 minutes in, and I'm watching Shaq and Charles and Kenny and Ernie, and all the celebs and former players are still on the court. That, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's the moment you guys will always remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and unfortunately, Donnie from Queens kind of took the moment away from Game 3. I was lucky enough to get a ticket to Game 3 last minute through a friend. I mean, the price is getting thrown around. Everybody in New York thinks they're somebody, and they're plugged in and connected, and, you know, the whole thing, right? So it was really getting out of control. What I love about the Garden, and the crypto's turned into this, I think, in its time since its inception in Los Angeles, it's really a building for the whole city. Like, it's really, I know it's for the elites and people who have money and all this stuff around the finals, but the Garden, its location in the heartbeat of Manhattan, it is for the whole city. And that's what it felt like with that win. The whole city was there, even if they weren't inside the building. I'm producing a documentary on the Jamaican national basketball team right now. It's been a great journey since July. And some of the assistant coaches were in New York for the first time, and we watched Game 4.
Wow.
So I will always have the memory being on 30th and 7th, walking out of there, being like, yo, boom, the Ross Belly from State 6-7 Kingston, the home of Patrick Ewing. Like, what?
That's right.
What is happening? Like, it was just ridiculous.
What a time.
Yeah, those memories you hold on to forever.
All right, got time for one more for you. First, real quick, Geeter knows this, but I was rooting pretty hard for the Knicks. Knicks fans are my favorite around the NBA outside of Lakers fans. And for me, of course, I have a soft spot for the Timberwolves, but I just like, they know the game. They'll root for the opposing star if he goes off. They stick to their team no matter what. They're not popping over to the Nets. So I've always felt kind of a kinship to Knicks fans, and I have some in my life outside of you. One of my best buddies from college is a huge Knicks fan, so we split league pass senior year. I watched the Wolves games, he watched the Knicks games, and I ended up seeing a lot of those games as well. But I want one last thing from you, Ben Lyons.
Mm-hmm.
A definitive list of your favorite players on the team. You speak for all New Yorkers. I have to assume that Brunson is number 1, but Anunoby may be creeping up closer. But give me, you can go 1 through 8. You can even go down to 10 if you want. But what is the list, top of your head?
All right, so not included in this list are Langston Galloway, Michael Doliak, Quentin Richardson twice, Langston Galloway again.
Just current roster. Just current roster.
Frankie Cigarettes.
Current Knicks. Yeah, favorite of this roster.
I've been wearing the number 11 Samuel Dalembert game-worn jersey. That's getting a lot of love in these streets. The 3XL
Shout
number
out
11.
Haiti.
The Dalembert. But no, I mean, OG, what he's really been able to do, like he had the most dunks in the history of a Knicks season this year. The guy finished. He's definitely my favorite player of this group.
Oh, wow, he's won.
And then I love this little trivia question for Knicks fans 30 years from now as we sit in a bar somewhere in Lower Manhattan. Who was on the floor for the Knicks when they won their first title in 53 years? Jeremy Sochan. Like, why was he on the floor when the game ended?
Mind blown.
That's ridiculous. Again, everybody's a part of this. You know, Huck Porty touched the finals floor twice, and Carmelo sadly only touched it from his seat in Game 4. It's very sad in that regard. But yes, it's for everybody, Mike. And that's what's really fun about it now. It's like the Knicks have built this real alumni thing, you know, with all these guys coming to the games and being around the organization. So it really does feel like, you know, Patrick Ewing finally got a ring. You know, it really does feel that way. It's really great.
This is the year of Ben Lyons, a championship and a baby.
Wow. We couldn't be better for you,
I'm
buddy.
so happy for him, man.
And the Jamaican basketball team.
And the Jamaican basketball team.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get Usain Bolt on that.
Michigan won a title, and the Dodgers going to win again. Like, it just stays up, Dieter.
Oh, man.
We're beating Ireland on the golf course every time. Like, Ireland's shooting in the low 90s now. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's up.
All right, well, talk your stuff, man. Yeah, you deserved it. I hope you had as enjoyable of a time. Actually, I don't even hope. I know. And congratulations on that news once again, man. That's awesome.
We want to see you when you come into town.
Appreciate you guys. And, Mike, thanks for putting up with me for all all those years talking about, well, I think Ron Baker might be the solution at point guard. So, thank you for indulging me.
The Lakers stunk at that time too, so we at least had that in common. All right, Ben, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you.
Good. Go Knicks.
Oh, man.
All right,
that is
man.
great.
And he was just as diehard when his team sucked, which is why I let him come on and talk his trash.
Ben knows his basketball, plays basketball but when he was here, he could also break down the Lakers, but he was a Knicks guy. That's what made him so fun.
That's right. All right. Well, he was Ben Lyons. We had a great time catching up.
Awesome.
All right, coming back, Geeter. I want to give you some pushback to a couple of spots on your list of the best 8 title teams out of the last 8. Of course, none of them were repeat champions. All right, that's coming up next on Lakers Talk with Geeter and Mike Trudell.
Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA sports talk.
We went to Ralph's and got the cake. Now, you wouldn't normally get cake from the Ralph's.
I have a great Ralph's right by my house.
You can do a photo on top of the cake in icing. So
you know how I know that?
How?
Because of your birthday party 4 or 5 years ago when there was a giant picture of your face.
Yeah.
When it was supposed to be you, Lisa, and Amanda all celebrating a birthday.
That is true.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN, the ESPN LA app, and on YouTube.
Oh yeah, injured in a crash? A slip and fall? Don't settle small, you've gotta make the call. He does the heavy lifting, he handles the fight. Big Tony steps in and makes it alright. No baloney, call Big Tony. He fights, he delivers, your victory is waiting. No fee till we win. He gets the compensating. No baloney, call Big Tony. 866-456-8669. BigTonyLaw.com. Attorney advertising prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Tony is attorney Tony Ward, primary office in Los Angeles, California.
Welcome to Milagro Tequila, where the sun shines, good times roll, and tequila pours. Take a sip of sunshine this summer with Milagro Tequila, crafted from 100% Blue Weber agave for bright flavor and exceptional smoothness. Shake up fresh margaritas with Milagro Silver. Mix the perfect paloma with Milagro Reposado, or enjoy the rich, smooth taste of Milagro Añejo on the rocks. Find Milagro at your favorite retailer, in-store, and online. Tequila never tasted brighter. Milagro Tequila. Please enjoy responsibly.
This summer's biggest football watch party experience is happening at Mercado Gonzalez in Costa Mesa. Catch every Mexico and USA match live, surrounded by non-stop game day energy, passionate fans, drink specials, surprise giveaways, grab fire asada tacos, slow braised quesadilla, fresh ceviches, warm churros, and more while you cheer on your team with the entire Mercado. Mercado Gonzalez, your soccer fan paradise this summer. Join us every Mexico and USA match at Mercado Gonzalez in Costa Mesa, where every match tastes better.
The great part about being a dad is the ability to fall asleep in my chaise lounge in Oasis. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Soccer watch party at Sideline, Saturday the 20th. Adidas giveaway and Av Alta players. Go!
Number 2.
A free bucket cap for Dad, the 21st. Then Father's Day bingo to win a share of over 25 grand.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away 3 Corvette Stingrays June 28th. You could drive off a winner.
Morongo, good times.
Red Card penalty. Score big flavor with Waba Grill's new Red Card combo for a limited time. A mini sweet and spicy chicken bowl, chili crisp dumplings, and a refreshing penalty punch for a beverage with mango popping boba. An all-star lineup for just $9.99 only at Waba Grill.
This is Lakers Talk with Mike Trudell on your home of Lakers basketball, ESPN LA, 710 AM, on the all-new ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
All right, needed Kendrick to bring us back to the West Coast after that heavy dose of New York Knicks influence, but it was good for us to see our buddy Ben Lyons get to be that happy. And we can all relate to that in sports, right? Like, we have our teams that we're passionate with. You are a SoCal boy, so it's all Lakers, Dodgers, etc. But if you care about somebody and you see a team that rises and kind of gives them a dream, we can relate to the teams that we rode like that.
You know, I think I mentioned this Lakers talk during I was Annie's birthday because you weren't here, and I was telling the listeners kind of about my maturation as a fan, because being a diehard Laker fan, but now working, covering the Lakers, kind of looking through it at a different lens. I think being older, maybe having kids, like, I can appreciate moments in sports, maybe former player. I don't know. Like when teams win it, my mind goes to, losing the national championship game for me. Like I feel for the losing team, but then I also enjoy winning so much.
Unless it's the
that
Celtics.
I can get cut up. Yeah, hate
Right.
I mean, there's still sports hate is real.
That's right.
And that doesn't matter. When I'm 6 feet under and I'm dead and gone, I'm still going to hate. I'm still going to sports hate the Clippers, and I'm still going to sports hate the Celtics. And so are my kids. And they were raised that way. Like, my daughters had no choice. I've told you this.
That's right.
They're 18 and 15, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
a couple things had to be.
But I appreciated this Knicks team for what I was saying earlier, like being a team. I like, it's easy to root for teams that do it right. And listen, their fans were idiots a couple of times in the streets, that's for sure. We went on the radio and talked about it. I think that happens a lot of places, but act like you've been there before. But that culture that was built and it's just the way that the former players embraced the team. It was super cool to watch. And I was like, listen, I've been clear. I was not ready to hand San Antonio the keys yet to a dynasty. F that.
No.
I don't want San Antonio winning yet.
I hear that.
They're going to have their time, right? They're ahead of schedule. But I'm not ready to give them the win yet, and I didn't want to see OKC go back-to-back.
And look, frankly,
I'm not ready for OKC to win 3-4 titles. No. It's going to be hard to win. It's hard to win, and I wasn't ready to watch that either. So I'm happy.
San Antonio would have had many more titles if not for Phil Jackson, Kobe, and Shaq kicking their ass for many years.
100%.
Which they did.
100%.
Okay, I want to get back to the list that you made, and we're going to see if we can make a tweak or two, if I can propose a swap, or if you're going to stay steadfast in your ranking. So take me through 1 through 8 once again, what your list was for the 8 championship teams, all of which have only won once since the Warriors last repeated.
Ironically, I forgot the Thunder. Okay. So that was funny. I had to put them in, but I'm going to give you my list right now. I had Boston at 8. Okay. Because F Boston. Bucks were at 7. Okay. I'm going Thunder at 6, Denver at 5. Okay, I went Knicks 4 because I'm still in the moment and I love the team. I explained that. I went Warriors 3. Steph, Clay, Dre, Stevie Kerr deserve that respect. I went Raptors 2, and it threw you. But when I read you that roster, boy, did you come to. You did, because I read you that roster. And I'll do it again if I have to. And then the Lakers, we both know that team in 2020, maybe one of the most underrated champions of all time, all because it happened in the bubble, all because it's the Lakers and it's LeBron, and people just want to hate outside. But everyone knows what that team did and what they would have done no matter what, and they went into a 90-day bubble and beat everyone that was there convincingly. That team had everything. Like I said, OKC way before OKC in terms of a wave of players and a style and different ways to beat you and defensively. And can beat you with threes, can beat you inside out, can beat you with LeBron going downhill, can beat you in transition. That Laker team, by far, number 1 of the 8.
All right. Here is my counter list. Okay.
Can't wait.
And it's not that far off of yours, but a couple key differences. And then we'll see kind of what stands out to you the most as to a debate point.
Okay.
I had the Bucks number 8. I had the Celtics number 7. Now, I'm happy to have you put the Celtics in the last spot.
But you're fine swapping them out.
I'm fine swapping them. It's just like, so the Bucks only won 51 regular season games that year.
Yeah.
And I felt like they benefited from the fact that not just the Lakers, but the Heat, the Celtics, the Nuggets, all of those teams were tired from the year before. And it was going to be teams like the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks that didn't do anything the previous season that had gas in the tank. And Giannis, just what he had left in the tank to me is physically what got them the championship. And I just not that impressive of a roster, no bench.
And the what if for me, Mike, like every Laker fan has a what if, even though we've won so many titles. But the what if AD doesn't get hurt in that series, we beat the Suns and we're on our way. The West wasn't that difficult for the Lakers.
It wasn't, but even in that case, that's the point though. Like everyone was so banged up that it wasn't just AD. Like Caruso was banged up, Kuzma was banged up, Casey, all of them. Okay, everybody but LeBron because he's the craziest athlete in the last 20 years and he doesn't get hurt because he's a machine. Okay, number 6. This is our biggest point of differentiation.
You put Toronto there. Buddy?
I had Toronto at number 6. Now they were 58-24 in the regular season. They barely get past. They needed Kawhi's shot to go 50 feet in the air and fall through just to get through the Eastern Conference, and that was in 7 games.
Good 76ers team, Mike.
And it was a good Sixers team
at his peak
with Butler. But then, to me, the biggest reason why they won the title, and again, Toronto people aren't going to like to hear this. I was born in Buffalo, just across the Great Lake there, Lake Erie. Shout out to Lake Erie. Steph Curry is the only healthy, basically, Warrior at that point, because Clay and Kevin Durant both go out for the series.
I do agree with you on that.
So that's my qualifier. I do like the roster,
that
like
roster
you said.
is crushing some of those other rosters here, Mike.
I do like the roster, but
Should I
in
go
terms
through it
of
again, Mike?
But in terms of the team, that's where I had them. Okay, then I had the Knicks. I had the Knicks next, so I had the Knicks 5th. I 16-3 in the playoffs, very important. It just like the Eastern Conference was a little bit rough from a talent perspective overall, and then I did feel like they got the beneficiary of San Antonio and OKC going 7 rounds, and just kind of the West going at each other.
You and I felt the Knicks could win it, and we said this
Yeah,
on the
we
Lake
picked- we
Show
picked them to win it.
podcast at work when Spurs won.
Yeah.
And I was saying that because the Knicks were done for 6 weeks before the Spurs, the OKC series
Basically.
got done, because Cleveland was just trash the way they played in that series. But we said there is a way. There's a way the Knicks can win the championship this year, and it's if San Antonio wins.
That's right. All right. Then I had the Nuggets 4th, so I had the Nuggets just ahead of the Knicks, and I think that just Jokic at his peak is just more of a problem than even Brunson at his peak, who, again, was spectacular and very fun to watch. But I felt like that was more of a team effort, and the way that they had supported Jokic defensively with Aaron Gordon and with Porter Jr. and Murray, like that, we saw that team.
Brown coming off the bench. Was it Brown?
Bruce Brown coming off the bench. Yeah, like that team was just like, they weren't super deep, but they didn't need to be because they were healthy.
Their supporting pieces, like their starting 5 around their superstar, pretty damn legit.
Yeah,
not the
really
deepest
nice.
group.
And Jokic was just,
Jokic was so
impossible.
nice.
So I had them there. The only 3 teams I had above them, and now I actually, I had the Thunder, right? So 20-24-25 Thunder. They went 68-14. They actually weren't as good as people remember in the postseason, right?
7 with Denver.
7 with Denver and 7 with Indiana.
7 with Indiana. And by the way, if Tyrese doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And by the way, look out for Indiana next year, just so everyone's aware. They're going to be good, Michael. Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Tyrese is back. I like Zoo on that team. I'm just saying they're going to be good. They're going to be a top 4 team in the East.
I had the Warriors.
Don't at me.
1 spot ahead of the Thunder. Now,
is that 3 or 2?
2.
Okay.
Now, the Warriors that year, this, by the way, something that's just to kind of take into posterity. The 21-22 Warriors won 53 games. So did that Nuggets team with Jokic, and so did the Knicks team. So there's something about 53 where, okay, you go through the regular season, maybe you don't have the hammer down completely. You don't have the pedal completely to the floor like Oklahoma City did, like San Antonio did, but you've got some vets, and once the playoffs start, they know what to do.
They know what to do.
And that Warriors team did not lose more than 2 games in any of their playoff series.
What was their series? I don't remember that playoff run much. I just remember the finals.
Yeah, so they I just wrote this down. So that was
the 22 or
they won in let's see. They won, first round was 4-1 over the Nuggets, second round 4-2 over Memphis, then 4-1 over Dallas and 4-2 over Boston.
That's the year Murray was hurt.
Yeah.
And the Lakers weren't in the playoffs, and I kind of just
that was a Westbrook year, yeah.
Yeah, I took a gap year.
So they only lose 6 games in the entire postseason, which is the same number, which is 1 more than the number 1 team that I have on here, the Lakers. The Lakers went 16-5 in the postseason. It really, like, the game that they lost to Portland in the first round was just absurd. The Blazers hit every tough shot. The Lakers couldn't hit it. It just was weird, right? Then they went on to stomp them. Then they lose to Houston, one of the first 2 games, before completely stomping them. Not even an issue, right? Then they go through Denver 4-1 against Denver, and that's Jokic, but like
tough series.
It just was like they had nobody had a chance of beating them in the West. The Lakers won 17 straight Western Conference road games that regular season. So don't talk to me about the bubble. They smacked teams that whole season in their own buildings. I was there.
Idiots.
They crushed everybody.
Idiots who don't understand.
This was still prime LeBron. It was absolutely prime AD. Dwight and Rondo still had something left. Then they had the young guys. They had big, huge wings. They didn't have a single bad defensive player that played on the roster.
Even
Not
Taylor
a single
Horton-Tucker was playing good defense. He was a rookie.
He would pop in once in a while, but Alex Caruso came in to start Game 6 against Miami, and they won by like 50. Kuzma's 6'9" and defended. KCP, Danny Green running up and down the wings. The rim protection between JaVale and Dwight, and then again still Primo, LeBron. So that team, I don't see any of these other teams, Geeter. If you put them in a 7-game series against that Lakers team, I take that Lakers team. And that's why ultimately they're number one. I hope it doesn't sound like a homer pick, but I do not see, and Danny Green agrees with us, I do not see any of those teams beating that Lakers team 4 times.
Danny Green knows ball. He's got 3 rings from 3 different teams. He knows, and he said it on these airwaves, okay? And here's the thing, Mike. For those that don't understand and want to just critique and hate and try to say it didn't matter, the Final 4 in the bubble, Boston Heat, Denver Lakers. 3 years later, Boston Heat, Denver Lakers. Final 4. I mean, so these teams have been, it wasn't like it was an anomaly that the Lakers were in there. They were the best team from start to finish. Before COVID hit, they were coming off a weekend where they beat the Clippers and the Bucks. Then they lost to a weird game at Brooklyn, and then COVID hit.
Well, Geeter, you've done a nice job with your list. I hope that you don't take my critiques.
No, it was great.
Too much to heart.
I love critiques.
And coming up next, you're going to try to persuade me that there's something new with LeBron information or Austin Reeves information or the various reporting that we've seen kind of coming through.
Walker Kessler, Mike, he's upset with the Jazz management.
You're going to try to persuade me that this stuff is significant and not something that I can't eye roll. Okay, that's coming up on Lakers Talk. He's Geeter. It's Trudell here on ESPN Los Angeles.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Mornings in LA start with Sedano and Cap.
Has it ever been more evident that the NBA is a young man's game? Look at the Spurs. They're children.
Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
Like, there's a couple of these dudes that can't even go in and buy a 6-pack of beer. So my only thought is, listen, I realize what kind of a year LeBron had. I realize how he carried the Lakers in that series against Houston. But he's twice as old as all these guys. It's a young man's game. If I'm the Lakers ownership, as great as LeBron was down the stretch, he's twice their age. What are we doing? We're not building a championship team by bringing back 42-year-old LeBron James.
Especially not for the amount of money.
But you're also not building a championship team without bringing him back, at least in 2026-27.
No, you're trying to build for the future.
The Morning Show with Sedano and Cap. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN Los Angeles.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-375-8936. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-375-8936, 800-375-8936, 800-375-8936.
The radio home of Mike Trudell is the radio home of Lakers basketball.
Welcome to a new chapter of Lakers Talk on ESPN LA, your home of Lakers basketball. Lakers Talk now weekly with the one and only Mike Trudell.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Once again, back to Lakers Talk and back to Mike Trudell.
All right, Lakers Talk. Mike Trudell and Chris McGee. Now, Geeter, I feel like every day of the last week or two, as we get closer to, but not that close to, NBA, free agency, and all of that, you hear something different about LeBron or about Austin Reeves. In this case today, you brought up the name Walker Kessler. Do you want to throw that out? Just to
that Walker Kessler was upset with Jazz management, did not like the way that they've handled his restricted free agency.
Okay.
Wanted, that extension, and then just doesn't like the way things are going, but he wants to be in Utah. And that's just a name that has always popped up with Laker fans. He would be a great defensive big. I love Walker Kessler. Here's the problem, Mike. I don't think Danny Ainge is trading him to the Lakers, number one. And number two, he's restricted free agent. I just want to remind you. You throw a good number at him, because it was also reported that the Jazz will match. So if you throw money at him, you then sit around for 48 hours while everyone else is doing business, and your money's tied up with Walker Kessler, and Danny Ainge at about 47 hours and 59, he goes right in the last second, 59 minutes, and goes, we're matching.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers have done some successful business with the Jazz.
Yeah, it can happen.
In recent years, but it has cost them.
Yeah.
And they had to use Utah to dump Russell Westbrook. They had to include first-round pick to do so. Now, they were smart enough to get a couple guys back that could at least play. And, before that move, they had gotten Rui Hachimura. So, that was almost like, okay, you could talk yourselves into, you didn't give up a first to get Rui, and so therefore throw him out to get rid of Russ. Okay, all that, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, this is a player that Danny Ainge wants and likes, and really his son Austin, who is conceivably running things on a day-to-day basis and kind of consulting his dad. So I am in that same spot as you, and anytime Kessler's name came up, I thought more like, because of those prohibitive factors that we mentioned with Utah wanting him on their team, the number is going to be too high. And the player, while the skill set I get fits to a degree, it's still not perfect. And I would rather not pay that position in order to basically maximize what I can get on the wing around Luka moving forward.
They also have the second pick in the draft. Jaren Jackson Jr. now on their team. Markkanen, Keontae George, right? They got great young talent. Ace Bailey, okay. Size in the NBA right now is a thing. You're watching teams that win, so they might want to keep Walker Kessler. They want him.
Yeah, they're going to keep.
They want him on that team with those guys. That makes them a big team. Also,
the thing about Jaren Jackson Jr., while a good player, he doesn't really play center like that. So the conversation actually that we had years ago, for 4 years, that always bugged the two of us about Anthony Davis doesn't want to play center. I'm like, he mostly plays center. He just wants a little bit of help. So he's saying. He's not the only one that is rebounding and blocking shots and rotating. Yep. The only guy in the team that they had for a couple of years, he just didn't want to be the only one on the team doing it. That didn't mean that he wasn't playing center. He closed games at center as they won the title.
Jaren Jackson doesn't want to be the only one. He wants Walker Kessler doing all the dirty work. Hartenstein to Chet. Right?
Thank you for bringing it back around to my point, right? And that's the point. They're not
Mitchell Robinson for Cat.
They're not going to go with just Jaren Jackson Jr. at center.
No.
He is a power forward who can occasionally play some center if you put enough size around him. So he could be your backup five when Kessler sits. But they want to start Kessler. It's just not a place to devote that much attention, in my opinion.
But when I'm asked by fans or friends, I say, yes, I love him. I think he's a great young talent, and I would love to have him on the team. I just don't think we're getting him.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
So that's one.
But he's he's a big you want on your team.
He is. Unless you have to pay him
an absurd amount of
star money. Because then if you're and this is all conceptually, we can kind of bring Austin Reeves into this conversation. Because if you're going to pay Austin Reeves at least close to the number of what we're hearing, and of course he's going to want the full max, right? Then maybe the Lakers would like to get him a little bit under that. Let's say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 million on top of Luka north of $50 million. And then if you're going to pay a center whatever that it's going to cost, it would cost to get somebody like that, a restricted guy out of Utah. So that's going to be 30 plus mil, something north of that. Then you don't have any money left to actually get any wings, right? To get the most important position, in terms of what OG Anunoby just did and what the Knicks were able to do in part because of what they had in the wing, not just with him, but with Josh Hart on a good deal and Mikal Bridges on a good deal salary-wise. It took a lot to get Mikal Bridges in terms of draft picks. But if you're given that kind of money to a center who again has a varied skill set, but for the most part is a lob threat on offense, he's going to set a screen, he's going to roll to the rim, he's not going to create anything off the dribble, he's not going to stretch you out like a Cat's going to do. He's not the same level of hub type player as a Hartenstein where he's going to pass the ball around. and he's going to give you defense, but is he going to be able to switch out when teams go small on guards? That to me is too limited a skill set to pay that kind of money to. I'd rather take my chances with cheaper bigs.
And also, like, if DeAndre Ayton opts in, you know, you want a rim running big, kind of like a Jackson Hayes type of guy, but then also, you know, I wouldn't mind one that stretches the floor.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's the beauty of what Cat kind of coming of age this playoff. Like Cat, his ability, obviously, he's an elite. He's always had a great touch and been a great shooter. But his ability to take you out, and they didn't want Wemby on him, but in game one, he had the ability to go by you and take you off the dribble. So, you know, having that type of big would be just fine for me as well. But when I think of, like, Mike, Danny Green said this the other day on the radio. It's not rocket science. And you and I have talked about it a million times when it comes to what you want to put around Luka. And, like, a guy like OG is that he is, if you go in the dictionary, he's the guy. He makes $42 million. He's a star in this league now. But that type of player, right, a guy that can shoot the three consistently, a guy that's going to be an absolute stopper on defense, tough, rebound, kind of across the board, get you 1.5 steals, get you 1.3 blocks, like that type of guy. They don't grow on trees, but you have to start accumulating that style. I think that's what you and I have kind of been, you know, preaching a lot when we do these shows.
You made a point, Geeter, that's
very rare.
That is so good that I have just removed what I was going to talk about in the next segment in order to feature what you said. I'm not going to say exactly what it is right now. I don't know if you know how brilliant your comment just was.
I'm all in.
You might not even know exactly what I'm referring to. Okay? But you said it. It was a great point. I locked it in, and it's coming back.
Lock it in.
On Lakers Talk coming up next. He's Geeter. It's Trudell with you for the rest of the hour up until 8 o'clock on ESPN LA.
Hey, it's Travis. Andy Kamenetsky and I are going to be live at Hard Rock Casino Tajon on Tuesday, 3 to 6 p.m., getting ready for Argentina and Algeria at 6. And fans on site, you're going to have the exclusive chance to enter to win the ultimate summer of soccer experience. Hard Rock Casino Tajon, the best place to cheer on your favorite team, the easiest drive from downtown LA. You need to be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll see you Tuesday.
Ever see people move an umbrella at a tailgate to cover the beer coolers? Or fill their only sink in a hotel room with ice? It's actually kind of crazy the lengths people will go to make sure their beer is ice cold. But no matter what people do, one thing is pretty clear. Because it's not a beer unless it's a cold beer. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue, to tell you when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Next time you're at my home away from home, LAX, look up. You'll see the future of travel in action. It's the all-electric Skylink train. It's now testing, and trust me, this is a game changer. What does it take to build a champion? It takes round-the-clock preparation. And soon, Skylink will connect you to the airport terminals, the new rental car center, and LA Metro. From practice to prime time, the LAX Skylink. Fast, free, and built for LA. In testing now to help you skip the traffic later.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
The radio home of Mike Trudell is the radio home of Lakers basketball.
Welcome to a new chapter of Lakers Talk on ESPN LA, your home of Lakers basketball. Lakers Talk now weekly with the one and only Mike Trudell.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Once again, back to Lakers talk and back to Mike Trudell.
Welcome back to Lakers talk. I mentioned that Geeter had an amazing point in the last segment that I'm going to get to. We're going to do that for the bulk of this segment. But I want to touch on something personal. Geeter, you and your lovely wife, Jess, had to drop your eldest daughter off at college this weekend. So my twins, I have 3 kids. My twins are 11, and dread is the wrong word because I'm also excited for that time. But
No, you're not.
But you and I have also had some significant losses in terms of our parents in recent years, and the emotion that hits you when you have that loss of foundation. Again, and I want this to be a downer, but I do want to know, how does that feeling of just pain in your heart, how does that compare to having to get in the car with your wife and drive away with your beautiful daughter, even though she's set to dominate USC volleyball and life in general, and knowing that she's in great shape? But how does that hit you?
It hits hard, Mike,
okay.
because, it's the first one. So for 18 years, kind of everything revolves around your 2 kids.
That's right.
You know where they are at all times, meals, just everything. So that moment where you say goodbye and you drop them off, and they're like, okay, see you later. And you get in the car and you drive home, and things are just quieter and they're different. And I think it just symbolizes, for all the parents out there that have gone through it, it symbolizes the end of an era. It's just going to be different from here on out. And yes, you are so excited for them. But there is a sadness. I cannot lie. There's a deep, deep sadness because something has ended. And I don't want to say the age of innocence and things like that, but it's just, there's a window that you have them under your roof.
Is it mitigated just a little bit by the fact that she's a couple miles down the street? You're going to be at every single one of her volleyball games. She's right there. If she has a rough day, come on home, honey. We're here. What time you need? Dad's waiting for you. Everything's canceled. I'll be right outside your dorm.
This is what I tell everyone, because people will always say, yeah, but she's only at SC. And after I want to yell at those people, but I don't, I say, yeah, I'm very grateful that she is close by and I will be able to see her.
But still not the same.
But it's not the same. It's not like I can just go drop by.
No.
Last night I'm waiting for the goodnight text. I didn't get one, Mike. I didn't get one.
Well, okay.
But today I got a text. And you know what it said?
Oh, tell me.
Going to the Dodger game with my team. Can you bring me a Dodger? She goes, are you going on the radio tonight? Can you bring me a Dodger jersey? I was there so fast right before work. Boom. I got.
You're like, hey, honey, I'm outside the dorm actually right now. It's funny that you called.
Maybe 32 seconds. 32 seconds. Her teammate Riley was there, Texas buddy, and hi Geeter. We talked for 30 seconds tops, and then she's like, I'm having so much fun, and then was on her way. I'm like, how was practice today? Nothing, gone. I got in the car and was like, you know what? I'll take those 32.
Look, the fact that she called though, she knew who was going to get the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She knew that was going to be.
She knew the Dodger jersey was on the way.
She knew that was going to be taken care of.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy for her, but I am sad for you. That is hard.
Appreciate it.
And I will be there in 7 years. And I will have 2 leave
By the way,
once.
for all you guys out there that have young kids, don't blink.
Oof. All right.
Don't blink, homies, because it'll happen.
You made a brilliant point, and I don't know that you know what it is yet. I think you will once I say it. So you were talking about the idea of having an actual stretch 5, right? And this is in thinking about the Lakers roster, which is not something that they have had in the recent past. In fact, the only big that they had that really was like a legit stretch 5 was elderly Marc Gasol at the end of his career. And since then, there have been a couple guys that have gotten a 3 or 2
Brooke Lopez
up here
in the early years.
But even then, Brooke wasn't really shooting threes. He had just turned to, but not to the degree where he was still in his prime, and or just a real option. And the reason that I brought this up, or that I think where you were going with it, was just watching the NBA Finals. And I'm sitting there probably like you and thinking, well, what are teams going to do to beat the Spurs? What are they going to do to beat Victor Wembanyama? And I don't know that you can do it if you don't have a legit stretch 5 option. Now, I'm not saying it has to be Karl Anthony Towns and it has to be your starter, but if you can't go 5 out and spread them out and at least make him honor the perimeter some, if you're going to let him just, because he can guard a wing who is a spot-up three-point shooter, he can guard them and still tag at the rim.
100%.
And you just cannot, and I'm sure you talked about this with James Worthy before games. I'm sure you talked about with Fish and with Danny Green. I just think you have to think about this guy, Victor Wembanyama, if you're going to try. He's going to be in the way of anybody trying to win to get out of the West. And you have to figure out a way to get a real stretch option.
And that's why I think Chet surprised people by the way he played, because against the Lakers,
he couldn't miss a three.
Couldn't miss a three. And he just wasn't ready to engage, right? Like, he just couldn't fire. It was like Top Gun.
Bro.
Can't engage. Get him down.
Chet against the Lakers from 3, games 1 and 2, was a combined 5 for 7. Now, he did cool off, all right, in games 3 and 4, the 2 games in Los Angeles. He did cool off, and he only took 6, and he missed all 6. So that was a little bit of a kind of a preview into the next round. He did make 2 of 4 in game 1, but from that point on, he only took 6 for the rest of the series, and he shot 27% on 1.6 attempts, and he was not taking them, and when he did, it took him forever to get it out of his hand.
And think about this, Mike, and this is what the beauty of sports is as well, and this is why you never know how one's journey goes. You and I have talked about this. The maturation of Karl Anthony Towns and what he has become now because of these playoffs and what the narrative used to be on him. Now you have Chet, who's already a champion.
Yep.
And one of the best players on the best team. And he's folding in that series and wants none of that smoke with Wemby. I mean, he was dominated and didn't engage and offensively couldn't get it going and couldn't stretch the floor. That's where he had to be better, right? And Cat was great. Cat attacked game 1. Attacked him, stepped back. I mean, he did all the things you needed, and that set the tone for the whole series. His best game was game 1, Cat.
It was.
Set the tone.
It was. And I think that Chet does provide, I think, for OKC moving forward, at least, like, he's the type of player that you have to be. And it's not like, look, Chet is not, I am not concerned at all about Chet's development.
He had a bad series.
He's 24.
It happens.
And I think that he's going to work super hard on having a quicker release from 3 and just having more confidence to take it. And that he's going to become a bigger part of their offense, I think, in the regular season. And then that is exactly what you have to have, because then you still get the defensive ability of Chet, who was second of the year in Defensive Player of the Year voting, by the way. But you get that stretch option. And there aren't that many of those types of players, Geeter. That's what people want Evan Mobley to turn into, speaking of USC. They want him to be this guy who's got a quicker trigger, who can stretch you out, who can still protect the rim. And he's shown signs, there's no doubt, but he's also going to cost $50+ million a year. So what types of stretch bigs can you get? We were talking Walker Kessler earlier in this hour.
Yeah.
He's not really a stretch big, but the thing that I think I can be encouraged by, and this is from watching a million practices, and you've been there a lot of them with me. All right, so these big guys, these 7-footers, you talked about Brook Lopez earlier. If you've ever gone out, and a lot of people listening right now to Lakers Talk have done this, if you've gone out and tried to actually make an NBA 3, you know how far away that is for a normal sized person, right? Geeter is a larger person. I'm a normal sized person. I'm 5'9", 170 pounds. You're 6'3". You're 6'3", so it looks a little different to you. But when you are 7 feet tall, and I sit and watch almost any 7-footer over the after practice. And this includes, by the way, Jackson Hayes, who you rarely see shoot a 3. I sit there and watch him just kind of flick the ball from 3 like I do from the free throw line. And so if you, everybody is taking 3s now in practice. So I think that that's something that can be developed. And like DeAndre Ayton, by the way. DeAndre Ayton should be taking 3s. I get J.J. Redick didn't want that last year because they needed him to roll hard to the rim. I even asked J.J. about it a couple times. He was kind of like, no. I don't know that I want to put that in his head. But so maybe there's something that I'm missing. But if it's not him and it's not Jackson Hayes, there's got to be somebody that can stretch the floor from that spot to give Luka that other look with a 5 out.
That leads me to my next question. Is that someone you're looking at with number 25 pick? There's been talk of the North Carolina kid, or is that number 25 pick, which a lot of people will tell you that's what you package up in a trade to get a guy that can be a role player now, that can be in your rotation now. That's kind of the big debate, Mike, because you want young guys on cost-effective contracts that are in your rotation. When you look around the league, not the Knicks, but the Spurs and OKC and other teams that are rising. But also a way to do it is by trading picks, and that's how you get a rotational guy. So that's kind of where I'm intrigued to see where the Lakers go.
I don't care how that player is acquired. It could be the draft, like you said. It could be a trade. I don't think free agency is especially palatable right now just because of all the guys that you have to take care of. But maybe, right? And I haven't gone through the list. We'll do that maybe for next week's Lakers Talk. Yeah. We'll go through and find a couple of names.
Yeah, I mean, the
out
restricted list is great.
Yeah, the restricted list has a couple
guys. But the free agent list isn't as, it's just not as.
But this is where I agree with you, but it's just like where the way that I look at it is you've got these future first-round picks, and you essentially need to upgrade all three position areas. And so one would be like a ball-stopping, hounding guard. One would be that same type of archetype you talked about, the kind of poor man's OG Anunoby on the wing. And then the other one would be a big. It could be a stretch big. If it's not, then I need one of the other two centers to be traded for a stretch big. Like I have to have those three spots covered as I'm looking at that roster between 8 and 15. Like there have to be high-level guys there. And you're right. Like if you get one at 25, great. You can't count on it because if it's a rookie, maybe he's not quite ready to play. But maybe if it's somebody so I'm more looking at that spot as the best talent available that could grow into something.
Isn't it wild, though, that the Knicks were the number one defense in the league in the NBA playoffs, and they had Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson on the team?
Yes and no.
But I'm just saying, like, when you think of that, like, when you think of the knocks on them and the narratives on them is what I'm saying. But you surround them with Josh Hart, Bridges, OG, Mitchell Robinson, guys coming
Robinson's
off the bench.
Great. You bring Alvarado.
So, like, it's what you've said many times. Like, Jalen took a lot of crap, so does Cat. But if they're willing and they give effort, like you pointed out, and so did I on air many times, like, okay, you're lazy if you keep saying Luka's not playing any defense because he started to play some good defense.
That's right.
Right? Like the effort was there, the team defense, the IQ, the taking charges. Even now, like they aren't those ball-stopping guys, but if you can get guys around them, their effort is there. I saw it.
I agree with that, and I think that ultimately, can you like Luka Doncic and his lack of being an elite defender is not the thing that's going to keep you from winning a title or not.
No.
Right? There's so many more plus things that he's going to give you, and he can actually give you plus things on the defensive side of the court, and that to me is a difference even between him and Brunson.
Great rebounder.
Yeah, great rebounder, great anticipation skills. He was 4th in the league in steals. So he like that to me is actually not even a concern. My concern is more how do you deploy resources in a way that you can address all of these different spots and then still bring back the guys that are good, like a Rui Hachimura, who fits part of what you need, but maybe not everything. And that will be the ongoing discussion throughout the summer. All right, coming up next, I had promised that I have looked at several World Cup squads and equated them to NBA teams. So if you are somebody that doesn't watch a lot of soccer or you're just a 710 listener and you don't watch a ton of hoop, we appreciate you listening to Lakers Talk nonetheless. I'm going to bring Pepe Mantilla in off the bench, and he's going to help Geeter and myself go through this list. Coming up next on Lakers Talk, I'm Mike Trudell. He's Geeter. Hang with us on ESPN LA.
It's time for your Valvoline Instant Oil Change Summer of Soccer update. Here's Mario Ruiz.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup has already delivered some stunning results. Australia turned heads with an impressive 2-0 victory over Turkey A, putting Australia in a strong position early in Group D. And in Group E, Ivory Coast snatched a dramatic 1-0 win over Ecuador, thanks to a late-game winner. Ecuador can only wonder what could have been after striking the post twice and failing to capitalize on several golden opportunities. But the biggest shocker of the tournament so far came today in Group H. Tournament favorite Spain was held to a stunning scoreless draw by Capo Verde. 40-year-old goalkeeper Vocinha produced 4 incredible saves to frustrate the Spanish attack and earn his nation a historic World Cup point. Just days into the tournament, and the surprises keep coming.
And that's your Valvoline Instant Oil Change Summer of Soccer update. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. From kickoff to the final whistle, performance matters. Keep your vehicle running strong. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for a special offer and locations near you.
call Jacob.
Listen, Cappy, I've been in an accident, you've been in an accident. It's a very traumatizing situation, okay? We've all been there. And the reality is, we tell people all the time because we would do it too, okay? When we get into an accident, we will call one person. We count on Jacob because Jacob is the man you can trust. He's been doing it for people in LA for nearly 3 decades.
Right. 1-800-345-6789. That's how you call Jacob. And by the way, we talk about car accidents a lot. It's not just car accidents. You could be in a grocery store and slip and fall. You could be walking across the street as a pedestrian and get hit by a car. You could be on a motorcycle and you could get hit. It's not just purely being in a car accident. Any kind of an accident, that's why you call Jacob.
Right, and I counted on Jacob when the insurance company changed their tone with me. I'm like, whoa. You know what? I don't think I need to talk to you. I think I need to call Jacob. That's when I counted on Jacob, Cappy.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The radio home of Mike Trudell is the radio home of Lakers basketball.
Welcome to a new chapter of Lakers Talk on ESPN LA, your home of Lakers basketball. Lakers Talk now weekly with the one and only Mike Trudell.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Once again, back to Lakers Talk and back to Mike Trudell.
Well, that's right, folks. That is the welcome music for one and for the only Pepe Mantilla. I was thinking, who can I call?
There's only one.
That is an expert on both the NBA and international soccer. And that man, Chris McGee, is Pepe Mantilla. Welcome, sir.
There is no such a thing as an expert. I'm sorry to tell you, okay? I don't know anyone that can be called an expert, okay?
Okay.
And I'm not an expert, and thank you for inviting me. Oh, my God, this is an honor to be with the great Mike Trudell and even bigger Chris McGee.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Taller. I wouldn't say bigger in professionally, but I'd say taller.
Well, I'm glad you laid it out like that. Pepe, you no doubt have been like me and just locked in to every World Cup game. You were probably celebrating El Tri's big win. You were probably celebrating the big USA win. And I bet you were shocked at Spain not being able to get over the hump against Cape Verde. But what I have done, Pepe, and again, I need your help for this. I've basically tried to equate NBA teams to World Cup teams and based mostly on what we've seen so far in the tournament. So not a lot to go on, but I'm going to give you one. I'm going to see how you feel about it, and then we'll keep going down the list, all right?
Go ahead.
Here's number one. Spain. Spain, to me, is most equivalent to Oklahoma City. They're young. They're deep. They're very frustrating to play against because in soccer, you never touch the ball.
Do they flop?
In basketball, they don't need to flop because they have the ball the whole time. So they just keep you on a string. You don't get to do anything against them. You have no choice but to basically hunker down in a defensive position, hope that you can get something on a counterattack or you can score in a corner or something. But you go into the game the underdog every time that you go against Spain. They also have amazing internal development, Pepe, which we know is also the case in Spain. They use Barcelona and Madrid and Atletico Madrid as factories for these young kids. And it just seems like every time you turn the corner, there's another young stud. In this case, it's Lamine Yamal, who's only 18. Pepe, what do you think of that comp, Spain and OKC?
No, I agree with you. Today is that's the beauty of soccer. That's the beauty of this sport. That, like for instance, today everybody thought that Spain was going to score 10 goals against Cape Verde, which nobody even know that that's a country and that exists.
Yeah, they don't even know where it is.
Yeah, and then what happens is Spain couldn't score not even a goal, and they have to tie a game. And for Cape Verde is like a great victory,
Yeah, for sure. By the way, if you do want to know where Cape Verde is, it's about like 400 miles off the west coast of Africa.
It's an island, right?
Yeah, it's an island just west of Senegal, and they have some players that are kind of like in the diaspora and other places, and a little bit similar to Curacao. How Curacao actually has a bunch of players who play like in the English Championship division and stuff. So these teams, they have some players. It's just that you've never heard of the countries. Okay, Pepe, the next one to throw at you. All right, England. I have the equivalent of being, and this is a little bit hopeful. I'm wearing an England jersey right now. I am part English. I'm also part French, but in part German and part Irish, blah, 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 Western European mutt. But I'm kind of hoping that the English find a way to bring it home for the first time since the 50s.
The Knicks.
I have them as the Knicks. They haven't won forever. It's a country most associated with the growth and the development of the game. They invented it. They have strong talent, but not the best talent, right? Nobody's going to pick them. Like, nobody was going to pick the Knicks before the playoffs started over the Thunder, over even the Spurs. But once you see them cooking a little bit, kind of hoping that they grow on you. So, Pepe, England as the Knicks. What say you?
That's good.
Well, I think you're thinking with your heart.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily agree with that, because I mean England won the World Cup at home in 1966, and people are still thinking that one of the goals didn't count. You know what I mean? They won in extra time, and back in the 66 they didn't have the technology that they have now. But if England wins, it will be a surprise, but not like the Knicks. It will be a surprise if let's say that Cleveland would have won the in the East. You know what I mean? Cleveland that didn't win since LeBron was with Cleveland. That I will say that. But the Knicks is a different story, because the Knicks are the Knicks, and England it gets to a certain point during the World Cup, and then they disappear. And they had great teams, better than the team that they have now. Remember when Beckham was in the team, and Lampard, and all of those
2002
great players?
Well,
a lot of heartache, just like New York has faced.
Pepe, I will say, look, I'll say this though. Okay, right now the betting odds, okay, Las Vegas, everywhere else, the English are third, and the Knicks, I think, were probably somewhere around third or fourth. So that's all I'm saying.
Also, it's about the fan base, right? Like, there's this rabid fan base, the knowledge, they've been tortured.
Nicely done. Okay,
So,
Pepe, I got to move on to my next one though. This Geeter came up with this one. Okay, now I had Cape Verde. Okay, Verde, which I believe is green, like it's a green cape out there. And Geeter came up with a better comp than me. So
is that
Geeter,
what I texted you today?
Go. What was your comp for Cape Verde?
They're the Charlotte Hornets. They're like fun and good and can get hot and they can light you up. But at the end of the day, they're just not good enough. But like them winning today, basically, because that tie is a win, don't kid yourself. It just reminded me of like a young Charlotte Hornets team, like really no one wants to play and you should absolutely smash. But then LaMelo's doing weird things and they're getting it going, and Kahn and all those guys. So that was my comp. They're not relevant, but like they're good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that one. They're not relevant, but they can be surprising and certain games and very entertaining.
Okay, that's good. So we got Pepe on board. I mean, look, after we know how much he loves Geeter, so I don't think he was going to disagree with that one, even if you didn't like it. Okay, Pepe. To me, when I hear you talk about the beautiful game, okay, there is one team that you talk about more than anything else. There's one player whom I've heard you recite his real name, okay, not just the name that commoners know him as, and that, of course, is the great Pelé. And I'm thinking of Brazil. Yeah, and there's a special place in the heart of anybody that has watched as much soccer as Pepe Mantilla. And the team that I equated with Brazil is, of course, the glamour team of the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers. The best uniforms, the coolest, all right? They always have stars. Maybe they're not the best 1 through 11 because they have players playing for like 65 different countries because everybody wants the Brazilian talent. Mm-hmm. So they don't get to grow up together. They don't get to play a lot together, and they all just come together, and the coach has this job of trying to fit all of these attacking players into a system, which is difficult. So it's not always easy, but that's the equivalent to me of the Lakers, who they can't always develop talent on their own because they have to get the best free agents, and sometimes you just throw it together. But Pepe, what do you think? Brazil is the Lakers?
Totally in agreement. Totally in agreement. Edson Arantes do Nascimento, better known as Pelé.
There you go.
It's everybody knows who Pelé is when you talk about soccer. Like everybody knows who Magic Johnson is, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Kobe Bryant when you talk about the Lakers. And I always say this, and you guys are going to agree with me, I think. Wherever you go in the world, if you say the word Lakers, everybody knows that you're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
If you say Celtics, people might think that is the soccer team from Scotland.
Yeah.
It's a difference. And even though the Celtics are very popular, but the Lakers, I mean, just think about all the LeBron jerseys, the LeBron T-shirts, Kobe's T-shirts. Just mention that, and then look at Pelé's T-shirts, and any player that played for Brazil, it's in history. Simple as that.
That's right. That's a fact. Okay, Pepe, I was hoping I could get you on that one because I didn't want to disrespect your knowledge of the great Brazilian tradition. Mm-hmm. You are one of the foremost experts. In fact, Pepe even told me that the numbers in soccer were essentially created by Brazil as to represent a position, right? So number 9 is your striker. Number 10 is the kind of the attacking player behind the striker. The wings are 7 and 6. The holding midfielder is number 6, and the other midfielder is number 8, and on, so on and so forth, right? So that Pepe is something that goes back to the great Brazilian tradition, right?
Yeah, things have changed. What number do you have when you play soccer?
I had number 10 growing up and in high school, but I couldn't take it in college because I wasn't the best player in college.
You got to be the best player.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't take number 10.
But the position that you play midfielder?
Well, no. I played kind of an attacking center mid or striker. I kind of floated between the two, so I was kind of like a 9-10, but I wore number 10. But then in college, I switched to number 7 because I played some up front, some on the wing, right? But I didn't play any center mid in college. Wasn't good.
Okay. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I want Celtics and Clippers
now
comps.
the numbers change.
That's what I want, Mike. I want Celtics and Clippers comps, and I want Mexico and France. I want to know what they are.
Well, okay, I have one last one. I'm going to let you think of a Clippers comp, Peter, because I don't. And I actually, what I need Pepe's help with, I don't have a great USA comp. That was the one that I struggled with a little. So if you can come up with one, Pepe, for what NBA team would be, but one I have that to me is also pretty obvious. Okay, and it's France and the Spurs. Now, the young talent that they have, completely generational. Not only do you have Mbappe, who's still young, you have Michael Olise, who is kind of like one of these next up-and-coming stars. If you haven't seen him play, he plays for Bayern Munich. He's about to score 1 million goals. They've got Dembele, who just won back-to-back Champions Leagues with PSG. And on, Pepe. I could Chumani. I could go on and on with the young talent. Well, the Spurs they have Wemby. They've got Castle. They've got Harper. Even if you want to go to Carter Bryant. So they've got young guys, but do they have the vets? Do they have this French team? Do they have those key guys? Is it Hernandez out on the wing? I'm not sure. Like Griezmann is old. Like is he still have? So I don't know that France can actually win it. They're the favorite, and we wouldn't be shocked, but that's my Spurs comp. Right? They're going to get far, but are they guaranteed a title? Absolutely not. But that's my Spurs comp is France. What do you think, Pepe?
No, I agree with you. They need the experience, the same as the Spurs, that they had good players with no experience. The only one that had the experience is Fox, and we saw what he did. He wasn't supposed to do that because he has how many years? 5 years in the league or so. So, but yeah, no. It's like Mbappé, who is one of the players with more experience in France, will do something similar to what Fox did in the final, for instance.
Yeah, good point.
No, I agree with that. And the Clippers, I don't know. Any team where Harden plays.
Any team where okay. I mean, well, Geeter, have you thought, if you have thought of a Clippers comp for one of the World Cup teams, feel free. If not, Pepe, what do you think would be a USA comp? I mean, like, I didn't want to give Denver or Minnesota. Like, I think they're both a little bit too good in terms of, I think their title odds were probably better than Team USA's. I mean, the Sixers, no, because they're kind of older, and like the USA team they're talented, they're fast, they're athletic, they're going to play really hard, but they don't quite have the top end talent, right, that the best teams have. So, I mean, is that like
Detroit?
Is it Detroit? Is it the Atlanta Hawks? The Orlando Magic?
I think it will be Detroit.
Detroit? Okay.
Yeah.
The only difference is that Detroit did come in as the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of us really gave them a clear chance to win the title. But I like where you're going in terms of just the grit and the kind of the talent, the youth, but like they haven't proven it, and it would surprise us if they went on a big run. So that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, no. Chris mentioned Detroit, and I agree with you. Detroit is the closest one that I can think compared to USA, what USA is doing right now. And hopefully they keep on doing this, and then we have a big surprise, and they're in the final, and they win the whole enchilada. That will be fantastic for soccer in the United States.
All right, and then the Clippers. So look, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to clip the Clippers. Didn't make the playoffs this year, right? So obviously they didn't have a chance to win the title.
No.
So you could go to like Tunisia or Algeria, Saudi Arabia, maybe somewhere like in that range where they're kind of in like the. I mean, look, that's being a little bit critical of them. Maybe you could, if you want to be really nice, you could go to like a Switzerland or maybe a Turkey or Austria.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Curaçao.
Curaçao.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Curaçao lost 7-1.
And I've been very nice.
Okay. Right. Well, Pepe,
Great job,
it's been a
Pepe.
pleasure to talk to you.
You're
And
the best.
I know you enjoyed talking to me, but I know you enjoyed talking to Geeter even more.
Love Pepe.
No,
we see each other road games.
It's a pleasure talking to both of you. You guys are excellent, and whatever you do, whatever it is, any sport, it's a pleasure talking to you because you know what you're talking about. Nothing compared to my nemesis, Mr. Michael Thompson.
I knew a shot was coming.
Love you, Pepe.
Michael. All right, Pepe, have a great night, all right? Enjoy the rest of these World Cup games.
You too. Thank you. Same there. Okay, bye-bye.
By the way, didn't want to interrupt, but got the game going. Kyle Tucker hit a 3-run homer to tie at 3-3, so things are happening there at Dodger Stadium.
Okay, Tucker.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, like that. And by the way, is the entire USC
Tomorrow
volleyball? Oh, they're going tomorrow. They're going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Shohei's going to hit a home run tomorrow then. In that case. All right. We got one segment left.
That's
of
it?
Lakers talk, and it's going to be a dealer's choice. Geeter has something waiting for us on the other end. He doesn't know that until I just told him. He's Chris McGee. I'm Mike Trudell. Shout out to Pepe for joining us. One more segment of Lakers talk coming up next. ESPN LA.
Hey, it's Travis. Andy Kamenetsky and I are going to be live at Hard Rock Casino Tojon on Tuesday, 3 to 6 p.m., getting ready for Argentina and Algeria at 6. And fans on site, you're going to have the exclusive chance to enter to win the ultimate summer of soccer experience. Hard Rock Casino Tojon, the best place to cheer on your favorite team, the easiest drive from downtown LA. You need to be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll see you Tuesday.
This summer's biggest football watch party experience is happening at Mercado Gonzalez in Costa Mesa. Catch every Mexico and USA match live, surrounded by non-stop game day energy, passionate fans, drink specials, surprise giveaways, grab fire asada tacos, slow braised quesadilla, fresh ceviches, warm churros, and more while you cheer on your team with the entire Mercado. Mercado Gonzalez, your soccer fan paradise this summer. Join us every Mexico and USA match at Mercado Gonzalez in Costa Mesa, where every match tastes better.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The radio home of Mike Trudell is the radio home of Lakers basketball.
Welcome to a new chapter of Lakers Talk on ESPN LA, your home of Lakers basketball. Lakers Talk now weekly with the one and only Mike Trudell.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Once again, back to Lakers Talk and back to Mike Trudell.
And Chris McGee, of course, will be hanging out with you guys throughout the summer. A lot coming up. I've got I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely locked into the World Cup, but that doesn't keep me from paying attention to the NBA and still listening to all of the podcasts. And the most recent one, Geeter, that I heard, I know this is making the rounds. Bill Simmons said that he would bet his life that LeBron James signs with one particular team. That's from a Yahoo headline. And since I listened to that podcast, the team that he mentioned was the Warriors. Now,
he said if he had to bet his life.
I think that, yes.
He's leaning that way.
I think that headline is meant to, which happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Like when he described it, it wasn't like, oh, that's the only possible team that could happen. It did sound like, though, that he's been hearing a couple of things that continue to lead him down that track. Now, you and I have debated this and discussed it throughout the season. We've talked about it on Spectrum pre- and post-game shows and off-season shows and off-day shows. And I still can't say that I personally see that as happening in a more likely manner than for him to return, given all of what the Lakers have to offer, and kind of vice versa, what's in it for him as well. But, Simmons knows things.
Quick note on Simmons.
Yeah.
Huge Celtic fan. 2019 absolutely mocked the Lakers' summer and what they did to create a team and said they will not make the NBA playoffs. They went on to win the NBA championship. So I'm just going to tell you that right off the bat.
Well, okay, I understand that, but I do think that Simmons talks to people. Now,
he does.
As he would admit, though, as somebody that is, of course, a Celtics fan and likes to hate the Lakers and just in the way that you like to hate the Celtics, probably part of him would like to see LeBron go to Golden State, maybe.
I think what everyone's hearing, because you've heard Wendy talk about it, others, Bill Simmons, and these are connected guys, as you said, all joking aside. Obviously, Bill talks to a ton of people, knows a lot of executives, and people know that tend to think that the Warriors reached out to LeBron a year ago. And
that was widely reported.
And are going to reach out to him again and will make the necessary moves that if he wants to continue playing basketball, which we think he will, but he has not said a word yet, and it doesn't come to a deal with the Lakers where you and I both feel is still the best fit for him, that the Warriors will be in position to offer him the $15 million and get him. And they also said that Steph, now the rumor is that Steph would be a part of the pitch, right? So now you're bringing in your good friend, and everyone comes in and pulls on the heartstrings. Let's do this. Everyone wants to see it. It's going to be must-see basketball. We're going to run it back one time. Let's do it. Olympics, we got gold together. So I think that's where the story comes from, because there's nothing else to talk about right now, Mike, because LeBron hasn't said what he's going to do in the first place.
Well,
so,
yes. What I will acknowledge is that if you told me that LeBron was not coming back to play for the Lakers, and that was off the table, and find a team, find a place for him, Golden State would be high in the list for me.
For me too. Actually, more than Cleveland.
Definitely, yeah. I don't see Cleveland happening, but so I can understand. But when I bring the Lakers back into the equation and I set up column A, column B, and just like your daughter Millie was choosing between colleges, and okay, here's USC over here. I don't know what the second place team was. Let's say it's UCLA, or let's actually take that. Let's say it's Northwestern, because I'm biased. I wanted her to go to Northwestern, and she's thinking, all right, well, the city of Chicago versus the city of Los Angeles, the amount of money that I'm going to get from one school versus the other, the academics, all right, the proximity to my parents. If I need a Dodger jersey from my dad, can he just bring it to campus? Okay, versus having to Amazon Prime something to the Chicago dorm that's not going to be as nice, and I don't get to see him and give him a hug. So you're weighing all these things, and here's the Golden State situation for me: the payroll. Steph Curry, $62.5 million for next year. Jimmy Butler, $56.8 million. Draymond Green, player option, $28 million. Moses Moody, guaranteed $12.5 million. I could go on, but it's a $208 million payroll. So if they can find a way, and they can't get the full mid-level, I don't believe, as a team that's already that far into the tax.
They would have to make some moves, right, to get to the 15.
But to me, it still looks like a vet min, and even let's say that it is to get to the 15, I think the Lakers can find that. And so basically my point being, if the money is the same, then in the roster in terms of competing, I don't think the Warriors are better than the Lakers in terms of what the supporting cast is. So Bronny plays for the Lakers. LeBron's daughter goes here. We just talked about your daughter, the most emotional day of your life yesterday because you dropped her off in college. So still, to me, I still see the most symbiotic situation being the Lakers, but understand that the Warriors would be a contender if money weren't an issue. If we was going to go play for whatever.
It's going to be a wild time.
All right. With that said, it's been a wild time hanging out with you.
It's been awesome.
You've been great tonight. He's Chris McGee. I'm Mike Trudell. We got to run. Come back next week.
We want to beat the traffic.
For Lakers Talk, ESPN LA.
Hey guys, if you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit,